Hello and welcome back to Soma Sutra. So today I want to talk about transmuting negative projections into something really, really positive that serves you. So I was looking at a post the other day from somebody I know who had for the first time ridden a motorbike, because all of his life he'd been told you don't want to do that because you're too crazy, you're too wild, and something terrible will happen. And it was actually the most amazing thing he's ever done. So from that point of view, we need to look at things that can actually fuel us and turn that whole situation around, because 9 times out of 10 when people speak to us and say you can't do that, or you're not good enough to do that, or you're not clever enough to do that, that's actually a projection of their own insecurities. It's actually has no representation of your capabilities or the things that you could achieve. So it's actually, they're talking from a place of fear, normally their own fear. So I'll give you a story. When I was a child, my my mum, she said, everything you thought was a challenge. She said, everything we did, you thought would set you a challenge. And I remember I used to, as a little girl, I used to sit up on the shed roof, and I used to go and find a pin, and I used to unpick all the hems of my dresses. And my mum used to give them to my grandmother to re-sew, and she would like double hem them on the sewing machine. And I would just think, oh, there's 2 rows of stitching. Okay, but that's fine. I'll just do it twice as long. So it never entered my head that it had been done to stop me unpicking the hems. And in another time, I used to be put to bed after all the kids would still be playing in the street, and I would be put to bed. So what I used to do is I used to open we had windows that pushed up. So I would open the windows, and then I would just go out and play with my friends again, which obviously to the annoyance of my parents. So they screwed the windows shut. So again, it didn't even occur to me that they had screwed the window shut to stop me getting out. So the very next day, I just went and got a screwdriver out of the shed and took it in my bedroom. And then obviously when I went to bed, before everybody had finished playing, I just unscrewed the windows and went back out and played again. So that's just, I'm quite fearless. So, but not everybody is naturally like that. So I embrace a challenge. I love change, and I love it. I just love that whole excitement that it brings. But not everybody embraces that. So what I'm saying is that when somebody projects negativity towards you and says you can't do that because, or you shouldn't do that because, don't let anybody steal your dreams. Make sure that you use that to fuel you. I had a situation a few years ago. I had somebody befriended me to find out as much as they possibly could about my business. They set up around the corner and then set about trying to discredit my business. And the more they did it, the more I promoted my business. And every day that person would go onto my page or have somebody look at my page and copy everything that we'd put on there. And I would deliberately make up really unique things that nobody else did, just to see if that they were going to copy it. And they did every single time, that they would just copy everything I did. And then obviously on top of that, they set up this horrible sort of campaign to try and slander everything that we did. So but that just, instead of breaking me, it just made me more determined. So I would advertise twice as much. I would promote twice as much. I would, contact clients and offer them things twice as much and come up with new ideas twice as much. So for me, it's the more somebody pushes me like that, the harder I will just drive my business forward. But not everybody receives that kind of projection towards them in that way. It did upset me, and it did really irritate me. Was I threatened by it? No. And ultimately their business really hasn't gone well, because you have to run a business on goodwill, and you have to genuinely want to give more in value than you take in money from your customers. So from that perceived point of value for money, that value for money has to be there, you know, and you can't just be in it for the money. You have to really, really passionately care about what you do, and that's very, very important. So whatever you come up against, instead of letting it break you, turn it around and let it fuel you. You know, it's so easy just to let the negative influences of other people be projected onto you, but you have to understand their projections come from a place of insecurity about themselves, or a place of fear that you might do better than them. So it's literally, you just have to have a completely different mindset about it. And if it's something that you want to do and you know you can do, you should do it. You know, don't let anybody steal your dreams. And that's it. That's my motto. Don't let anybody steal your dreams. You know, if you want to do something, then absolutely you should do it. So that's it for me today. And follow your dreams, and don't be afraid to do things. Don't be afraid to get out your comfort zone. Life begins outside of your comfort zone. You know, if you don't try new things, you'll never grow, and you'll have an amazing life. So take that little snippet with you, and I really hope that it inspires somebody to do something that they maybe, you know, had really wanted to do and had somebody, you know, whispering negative words in their ears.